How I responded to situations like the one that was presently unfolding did not bode well for my score on the nutball scale. "Tal," Harlow said, using her knowing, level voice with me. "Why don't you just go open the door and see who it is? I'll be right here." I bit my bottom lip and stared at the frozen image of Gordon Ramsay on the television screen. I hadn't yet switched over to the French New Wave film whose title I couldn't remember. The doorbell rang again. "Tal," Harlow repeated. "Answer the door." "But we don't know who it is." We'd entered our usual call and response pattern. I like to think that's one of the hallmarks of best frienddom. That comfortable, circular conversation. She sighed, and I watched her flip her phone over in her hands. I had a sinking feeling that she was debating whether or not to text Quinn and tell her I was being a complete nutball. Great. The only thing worse than my best friend being infinitely cooler than me was that now she had a girlfriend who was infinitely cooler than both of us. And I could feel Harlow slipping away. Slowly, but still slipping. Being pulled into the orbit of Quinn and Quinn's alluring pack of friends. It terrified me. In the past few months, something had shifted between Harlow and me. It was difficult to put a finger on. It wasn't like an earthquake or anything that dramatic, but there was a fissure. Before, I had been the first person Harlow told everything to, and of course, I told her everything first, too. Really, there wasn't anyone other than my mom who I confided in besides Harlow. Now that Harlow had Quinn, I was Harlow's second person, but she was still my first, and that made me feel sad. No one wants to be in second place. When Harlow had first come over today, she pretended like everything was normal, but I knew it was a tactic. Harlow didn't ever want to talk about what had changed between us. She wanted to keep on pretending like things were as they always had been, even though they clearly weren't. I wondered if Harlow was only here now because Mom had called Harlow and asked her to come. I could easily imagine the phone call. "Harlow, dear?" my mother would have said in her formal tone that she believed disguised her ever-present accent. "I'm going to be away for a few days in Paris, giving a lecture at the launch of a new gallery. Would you do me a huge favor and check in on Tal from time to time for me?" "Yes, of course, Dr. Abdallat," Harlow would have said, because despite the frayed denim jean shorts and polka-dotted tights and chipped dark nail polish, Harlow, at her core, was still the authority-pleasing third grader who turned in every book report a week before it was due. She was also one of the few people I knew who referred to my mother as Dr. Abdallat. Yes, she had a degree in art history and theory, but she was a professor, not a medical doctor. "Okay, fine. Let's just take a deep breath and behave like normal people," Harlow insisted. She marched toward the window. She pulled back the thin lavender curtain and let out a gasp. "What is it?" I whispered, my body stiffening. "Taliah Sahar Abdallat, you're going to want to see this." My throat went dry. "Seriously, what is it?" "Taliah?" Her voice was rigid. "Come here." I pulled myself up from the couch. I walked to stand beside her and looked out the window. The midsummer daylight was bouncing off the window in a blinding fashion, and I had to blink a few times to make sure my eyes were really seeing what I thought they were seeing. It was him. 3 years too late. Or really 16 years too late, if we're being honest. But it was him. Dear Julian Oliver, I really don't know how to begin this letter other than to say, I think you're my dad. There is so much I want to say, but I felt the need to start with a neat and pretty and direct beginning. Something to get you hooked so you'll keep reading this letter until the end. I like to imagine this is how you feel when you go about ordering the tracks for one of your albums. You select something nice and catchy for the beginning track, and then